Hello, everyone. How are you on this June 19th, Thursday? Hope you're having a good day since I saw you earlier today in Unplugged, which was a lot of fun. Really fun doing that colors test with you today. And now we are here with some urgent breaking news for two different cases, 3 children. So this is Crime Time Buzz. I appreciate you being here. This is for entertainment purposes only, not to be taken as fact, but speculation, opinion, theorizing, alleged, and no one is being accused. I am using information that is out there in the public, but I will give my theories and opinions on such information. It is all alleged. Thank you so much for being here. We have great news. A couple of weeks ago, we had fabulous news that Elisa Petrov from South Jordan, Utah, had been located in Colorado Springs, Colorado. She had walked into the police department. Praise God. Well, we now have news that little Clair Bell, 3 years old, who's missing from Quebec, Canada, has been found. You all wandering around near a highway. Hi, prayer warrior. And she told police her mama told her to wait there. Buckle up, friends. This is going to be quite a show of updates. Their dog was found deceased. Claire was found wandering near a highway saying, Mommy told me to stay here. Mom has been arrested. She had a terrifying TikTok video that was out that was very angry and terrifying, but her charge is abandonment. And then we have little Jack and Lily Sullivan, the Sullivan siblings from Nova Scotia, Canada, 2 Canadian cases right now. Their mother, Malehya, they were reported missing May 2nd at 10 a.m. Partner Mom and her partner said they were asleep with the baby in the other room, and the 2 kids exited through the ever so silent sliding glass door that they never hear open and close. Their scent ended at the driveway, and poof, gone. We are going to get into that. There is a relative out that is speaking up. He claims that Malehya has left remember Malehya and Daniel, her partner, on May 3rd, the day after the kids went missing. They got into an argument. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. They got into an argument, and Daniel's mother, who owned the property where the trailer and the camper are, kicked Malehya and her family off. Malehya packed up, left with her mother. Well, news is from this relative, Malehya is no longer with Mama, and she is on the run. This relative believes that Malehya orchestrated this. He believes he knows about 90% who was driving the car that took the kids away. He believes that he knows where they are, and he does believe they are alive. So very interesting. Also a conflicting statement from then the grandmother, who believes the children are deceased. So we have a lot to go over today. Please hit that thumbs up as you're coming in. Please hit that thumbs up as you're coming in. So good to see you. Don't miss Unplugged tomorrow morning, 12 Eastern. We are doing a talent show. You can highlight your craft, your business, your channel, a hobby, an accomplishment, whatever it is you want. We're going to do a call-in show. And if you're from out of country and can't call in, you're sending it to me, what information you want me to share, with all caps saying talent or talent show. Hi, Beth. So that is, hi, Lois. So lots of information here for the kids. We're going to get right to it. Hi, Mom First Always. Hit that thumbs up on your way in, please. Only about a third of you have. Okay. I think we're going to begin today with Clair Bell. And welcome in. Hit the thumbs up on your way in, please. So appreciate you all. Okay. Okay, y'all. Hate their ads. Okay. My goodness, come on. This is ridiculous. Okay, there we go. So little Claire is from Quebec and had been missing 4 days. Hi, Guardian. Hey, Robini. Had been missing 4 days, and she was located. So we are going to read her story. She is alive. She was found. Mom is arrested. The dog that was last seen with them was found deceased. And little Claire told law enforcement that mommy told her to wait there. Mom has been arrested for child abandonment and has her first hearing tomorrow, June 20th. So let's find out the details of little Claire's story. We're covering 2 Canadian cases today, which encompasses 3 children, Jack and Lily Sullivan and Clair Bell. Okay, this is from Montreal News, CBC. Quebec toddler found alive and well after intensive 4-day search. Now, we know in searching for missing children, we oftentimes, after 4 days, start to get a little worried because statistically, after 4 days, things usually don't look good, right? Sorry, y'all, I'm plugging in my computer. Hold on. There we go. Things don't usually look that great after 4 days, right? We start to get really nervous. She literally abandoned her in bare feet with a lunchbox. Yes, we are going to read this. It's just absolutely shocking. Hi, Elizabeth, by the way. Thank you all for coming in. But 4 days, you know where we usually are. 4 after that, 2 days. Once it hits 3, it's that, oh goodness, 4. Oh, our stomachs are sinking even more. Statistically, it doesn't feel good, but we always know there are cases that are against the odds, right? Hello, chicken lady. Okay, I'm going to read this article to you, and this is little Clair Bell, who is alive and has been found, who is waiting on a highway 110 miles from her home because mommy told her to wait for her. Wow. So this is why we are police, says the officer as he detailed the search for missing 3-year-old girl. And again, this is credit to CBC News, Montreal. Claire is from Quebec. We can say is, can't we? Police and rescue workers searched the woods beside a highway for a missing 3-year-old girl in Vaudreuil-Dionne, Quebec, Tuesday, June 17th, 2025. Oh, it says that CBC has removed the name and photo of the child in this story. Now that the child is no longer missing, the identity is no longer in the public interest. Ooh, interesting. Okay. So we won't be showing it either after this slideshow. A 3-year-old toddler was found alive and well in Ontario on Wednesday, 4 days after she went missing. And we know mom is the one who reported her missing. Police announced during an evening news conference, and I'm going to share that news conference with you. This is why we are police, said Sûreté de Quebec Captain Benoit Richard. Sorry, French is their first language in Quebec and not mine. I apologize. Expressing the joy in finding the little girl safe after deploying every effort to find her. Happy ending. Well, somewhat, right? She's alive. Now we exhale as one, knowing she is safe, said Acting Staff Sergeant Sean Cameron with the Ontario Provincial Police. I love that he said that. Now we exhale as one, knowing she is safe. That's amazing. The officers declined to provide details on her health, but said she is doing well. I have a photo of her too, friends, that when they had her in the police car. Police say there are still few details they can release as the investigation is ongoing, but it was a drone that spotted the little girl by the side of Highway 417 near St. Albert, Ontario, about 150 kilometers west of Montreal, just after 2 p.m., according to Quebec Provincial Police. Her mother, right here, Rachel Ella Todd, 34, was arrested and charged with child abandonment late on Monday. OPP found the girl. She was alone, but seemed healthy, police say. She's now being cared for in hospital, and family of the girl are expected there as well, Richard said. Obviously, we're relieved she was found. This is the best possible outcome. She said police were taking care of her and ensuring she had food and water. Tips from public played a role in finding the girl. It was the best case scenario, an end to a search that included up to 200 officers and trained volunteers, police on horseback, a helicopter, and ATVs. Richard said, along with SQ officers and investigators. Local police services throughout Quebec assisted in the search. Cameron said several detachments of the OPP were involved, as well as air support, the K-9 unit, and others. Excuse me. Both Cameron and Richard thanked staff as well as the public for following the search closely online. Officers would not have located the little girl without critical information from the public. Cameron said, adding this case is a prime example of how tips can help lead us to a positive outcome. So the public helped. Good for the public. Quebec Premier Francois Legault took to X soon after the little girl was found, thanking the SQ and their partners who worked tirelessly to find her. He also thanked the OPP for assisting. What a relief and joy to learn that the little girl has been found safe and sound, he wrote. I also want to acknowledge the contribution of all those who provided information to the police, enabling them to find the little girl alive. And this is the police command center that was set up by the store, and I'll tell you about that in a second, in Coteau-du-Lac, Quebec, about 50 kilometers west of Montreal. And that's where the mother and Claire, the mother reported her 3-year-old daughter missing, Claire, on Sunday afternoon. She ran in there in a panic. So the 3-year-old daughter, great news. Sorry, I'm stopping. I know, prayer warrior. Hi, I am Taber. I know they made sure they thanked the public for the information they received that helped them lead to her, to little Claire. So welcome in, everyone. Please hit that thumbs up. We are reading about little Clair Bell, who was found 4 days into her intensive search. She's 3 years old. Her mother reported her missing. The last time they were seen, she was with her mother and her little Chihuahua dog. The Chihuahua was found deceased near the store where the mother ran in reporting Claire missing. Claire has now been found 100 miles away in bare feet with a little lunchbox, saying her mother told her to wait for her, to stay there. Something, I'll read the article. So she is safe, thank goodness. The mother is behind bars, charged with abandonment. Her hearing is tomorrow. Yes, and Malehya is on the run, Shirley, according to a relative. Shirley, I have not been on in the last couple hours, so I went on right after our show this morning of Unplugged, but I haven't been on in the last couple hours, but I will check it again. Hi, Laura W. So thank goodness a happy ending, but let's keep reading because there is a lot of information on little Clair Bell, who is alive. The 3-year-old was reported missing on Sunday west of Montreal. Searchers had combed fields, searched buildings for 3 days in the hopes of finding the toddler. Initially, the search focused on a wide swath around Coteau-du-Lac, Quebec. Forgive me, again, I don't speak French, I'm sorry, where the girl's mother had been on Sunday. As the search continued, however, police widened their net. And police are thanking the public for all of their tips that helped them find Claire alive. Both the SQ and OPP said Wednesday there were reported sightings of the child in Ontario. Thank you for seeing something and saying something. The SQ also said they had located a witness who spoke to the girl's mother on a farm in the Montérégie region. We're going to have to do some map time. in the Montérégie region near the Ontario border on Sunday. So mom was on a farm near the border of Ontario. The girl's mother, Rachel Ella Todd, was arrested on Monday. She's 34 with child abandonment. She was in handcuffs, a dark red t-shirt, and she made a brief appearance at the Salisbury de Valleyfield Courthouse on Wednesday. She will remain in custody and is scheduled to appear again tomorrow, June 20th. The girl had last been seen at her residence near Newman Avenue in Montreal's LaSalle borough Sunday morning at around 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time. They said the toddler's mother reported her missing a few hours later at a store in Coteau-du-Lac, about 50 miles west of Montreal. So she was last seen at the house at 9:45 a.m. and then at her residence, and then about a few hours later, the mother reported her missing about 50 kilometers west of Montreal. An employee of the store said the woman drove her car into the parking lot and ran into her store in a panic. The SQ's Cosette said investigators had received hundreds of tips for the case by early Wednesday. The search efforts had previously focused on areas near the junctions of Highways 30 and 20, as well as areas near Highway 40 west of the island of Montreal. An area police said is difficult to access due to dense vegetation. According to Radio Canada sources, Todd didn't seem lucid, that's the mother, and made confused remarks when she met with investigators. Sources also told Radio Canada an analysis of Todd's phone, buckle up, revealed searches for children's funeral urns, as was first reported by the Journal de Montreal on Tuesday. Wow. Children's funeral urns. Premeditation. A video posted by Todd, that's the mother, in the hours before the girl's disappearance has surfaced on TikTok, Radio Canada has confirmed. Oh, and it's terrible. In the short video, Todd is holding the little girl and speaks into the camera saying, "You try that again and this is going to get ugly." And boy, her face, you all. The caption reads, have you come up against a mother with nothing to lose? Have you come up against a mother with nothing to lose? Oh, good. Here's the map. CBC does not know the context in which the video was filmed. Quebec Provincial Police said they were not commenting on that video. The charge against Todd alleges that she abandoned her daughter and put her life and health in danger. If found guilty, the maximum sentence is 5 years in prison. On Monday evening, police announced they had found a dead brown chihuahua around Highway 30 in the Vaudreuil-Dorion area. The dog matched the description of the one thought to be with the little girl when she was last seen. As of Tuesday evening, police were still working to confirm it's the same dog. Wow. Wow, right? Let me get to us here. Wow. Okay, hold on. I want to share this one instead. Where are y'all? Crazy story, right? I'm coming over to chat now. I just want to get, we have some more information. We have a press conference to watch too. Couple of them. Isn't that just something else? Whispering says she's with her father. Why does she need to be adopted? Not enough prison time, in my opinion. I agree, Shirley and Justice. I am to bear. She will remember it because if mom losing her rights and she is adopted, she will ask when she gets older. Her story will have to be told. I believe there is a dad in the picture. Hi, Roxanne. I'm that open arms grandma who embraces all kids. Anyone I know can ask me to watch their kids, and if I can and feel like it, I do. Wonderful relationships have developed, many adopted grandkids. Roxanne, that's beautiful. Whispering says the drop places need revamping, so many have no questions asked drop off, but then they search for the parent. Well, and that's a lot of them don't drop off because they know there's cameras. Right. You're so spot on. So let's listen to the press conference. Little Clair Bell has been found wandering barefoot with her lunch pail, 110 miles from where she was last seen with her mommy and her chihuahua, who was found deceased, told police that mommy told her to wait, stay there. I do want to show you something real quick before we go on. This right here is what she looked like when they found her. Doesn't her face look kind of chapped from the sun? And here was her quote. Here's what it says. "I'm waiting for mom. She told me to wait for her." 3-year-old Clair Bell told police who rescued her, shoeless and clutching her lunchbox, from the side of the highway on Wednesday, June 18th, 2025. She had been missing for 4 days. Photo credit La Presse, California. Amazing, right? That's just amazing. Look at her little face, though. You can tell. You can just tell. See? Look at her lips are so chapped and swollen here. Look at her poor chapped lips or sunburned lips or whatever. She must be so thirsty. Okay, I'll go back now because I want you to hear the story here. Wow, that's just crazy. Okay, so we are here now. And this is credit to News CA.
All right, we're going to go live right now to Quebec. We're hearing from the Sûreté Quebec. That's the provincial police force with the latest on the search for a 3-year-old girl who went missing over the weekend. Her mother now arrested. Let's listen in here.
Have you asked the surrounding municipalities to not collect garbage?
Yeah, this is temporary, and this is a normal procedure to ask the cities and municipalities around to hold the garbage collection and the recycling item collection. What? So we ask the cities all around the search area to put an hold for the recycling and garbage collection. This is a normal procedure for this kind of operation.
How hard is it knowing how many hours it's been and that this is a 3-year-old girl?
Yeah, we want to find the girl quickly, so we put many resources to find the girl as soon as possible. This is hard because we have a large area, and we want to have some information from the public. So if somebody saw the gray vehicle, the gray Ford Escape 2007 with the yellow sticker, baby on board, on the back glass, please call the DSQ, the information central, to give the information, because it could be helpful for the investigation.
So while they're looking for her, hi, Joan. Hi, Passion Flower. Yes, Shirley, isn't that terrible? No, her dog was found close to the store, deceased, where the mom had run in to report her missing in a panic. The dog was found around there. Just so I did want to make it clear, French is his first language, so that's what he's doing his best to communicate in English. One thing I caught that I really liked is they said they're stopping everyone from collecting trash and recycling, leaving everything where it is, kind of. So very interesting, investigative, making sure nothing gets moved or touched right now. I agree, I am to bear. 5 years, wow. And look at her swollen lips. We'll look at it again. Thank you for being here. Please hit the thumbs up on your way in. I appreciate all of you. We are talking about little Clair Bell, who was miraculously 3 years old, found alive after a 4-day intensive search from Quebec, Canada, Montreal. She is alive. Her mother, she's told law enforcement, they found her by the side of the highway, that mom told her to wait for her there. heartbreaking. And we are listening to the press conference prior to them locating Claire. And then I have one after when they have located Claire. Good news for little Clair Bell today. And this is credit to CTV News.
I know that your officers they're trained for this sort of thing, but is there support for them given that many are probably fathers, mothers?
Yeah,
Young
we have support for this kind of situation.
Could I just ask you, how far is the perimeter for your search right now? Like from what municipality to which one, or does it go to the Ontario?
The main operation is near the Highway 30, between the Highway 20 and the Highway 40.
That's big. Yeah, that's a big.
Yeah, that's a big area. So we can find a lot of police officers there to search, the long grass, to search the shoulders of the highway. So this is a large area.
Do you know approximately how many kilometers?
No, I don't have the information. It's a large area.
Yeah. So are you no longer searching near the Ontario border?
I don't have the information actually.
Okay.
That's correct.
All right.
And it's just shocking. I mean, like they said, God was with Claire. I agree. Smart little girl. She made it out, you all, and she is just, we saw the picture. Thank goodness she's okay. But praise God. This is a happy ending. We had a happy ending with Elisa Petrov a couple weeks ago. Walked into the Colorado Springs, Colorado Police Department saying, I am Elisa. So thank goodness the 3 men who were with her were arrested, or who were grooming her on the internet were arrested. And now we have found little Clair Bell has been found. Thank goodness. We are going to listen to the press conference. I wanted to read a couple of your comments. So, oh, you guys are talking. Oh, I see. Yeah. No food. No water. I don't know if her mother packed a lunch in that lunchbox. I have no idea. She probably had to go potty in her pants. Yes. Whispering Winds, you are so right. So right. And so let me check real quick before we go on what the temperature's been in Montreal. So today, from what I can tell, it was like mid-80s high today. So at least she wouldn't have survived if she had been left in Arizona, right? Thank you so much. Let's listen to this now. This is the press conference. Little Clair Bell has been found waiting for her mother 110 miles away next to the highway with her little lunchbox and bare feet. Her mother told her to wait for her. Her lips are swollen, chapped from the sun, dry, probably no water. Her face looks weathered from the sun, but she is with law enforcement. Paramedics are taking care of her. I'm sure she's being reunited with family. She was found yesterday. This is also credit to CTV News.
The young girl of 3 years old who was missing since Sunday afternoon. So she was located by a drone of the Ontario Provincial Police, our partners that did join the search today because of a lead that we received that the little girl and the suspect has been observed in Ontario Sunday afternoon. So because of that, we asked our partners to do some search, and they've been able to locate the young girl on the side of the highway 417. So she was speaking with the police officer. She was alive. We provided some first aid in water and food for now, and she's been taken care by the paramedics. So the priority is just to make sure she is okay. How is she healthy? And so that's the priority. And I know you all have a lot of questions about how is this possible, or how she been discovered, where has she been. I have the same questions myself, but all I can tell you right now is we're happy that she's alive. It's the best scenario possible. We were today feeling that we were advancing, and we had some leads, new leads, and so that's the best scenario possible. The authorities of SQ and OPP are going to do a press conference later tonight, and I hope you're going to get some more information and details. I know the population wants to know more. I want to thank them. Thank to everybody who help us giving information, watching at their video cameras. The population has been really supportful. Everywhere we were going, people were telling us, I saw something, how can I help? What's the phone number to call you guys? So thanks to everybody that did participate. I want to
stopping just because we need to for fair use and education, but I just am really happy to hear that the public helped. It changed the direction of the search area, and they located her. So if you see something, say something. I'm just so, we also have our friend in Oregon who went and, saw something, said something, filed a police report. So it pays to say something, because it can't hurt to say something if you're wrong. But if you're right and you don't say something, it could hurt. It could cost a life. So poor little angel, but she's been found. Can you imagine, though, the trauma she's going to go through, her mommy abandoning her once she is old enough to, process what happened? Just the trauma she's going to go through, the abandonment issues she's going to have to deal with. Hi, Charlene. You know what I mean? It's just, hi, Karen Powers. Hi, Castle. It's really heartbreaking. But let's continue this press conference where they are talking about that they did find little Claire. And I want to clarify SQ, because this is Canada, and we don't always know what exactly their acronyms are. SQ means Sûreté de Quebec, which is the Provincial Police Service for the province of Quebec. There is no English name for it, okay? But it's sometimes translated as Quebec Provincial Police. And that's so, and then OPP that you're hearing them saying is the police service, Provincial Police for Ontario. Just to kind of give you I had to look them up for myself too.
I want to thank the public and also the media, because you all always are good with your cooperation, and you relay our messages. So thank you so much.
So she was all alone?
She was alone when she was found. Yes. Alive, speaking. So yeah, we could not wish more, and the time was running. I mean, it's the fourth day of the search. So it's been long. It's been hard for everybody, but we always knew we were doing that to find her as quickly as possible, and find her because she also has a family, relatives who were really worried. So it's a good conclusion. The investigation will still be ongoing, and I think you can address the further questions at the press conference tonight.
Can you just tell us where she is now?
In hospital somewhere. I don't know which one, but that was the plan. Paramedics, hospital, just that's a priority. I mean, she's been outside for a couple of days, probably. So
we're assuming that she's just been alone outside the whole time.
You will probably know further. I mean, I'm in front of you, and it's only been like maybe less than half an hour she's been found. So I don't have all the answers right now, and I want to thank you all for. Okay.
Did the
Alive and well. Now, hi, Kaz. Hi, Kaz. I agree, Shirley. 5 years. Hi, little orange man. Hello, everyone. Hi, Raymond. So I wanted to share something with you that I had just looked up. And it says, so they found her on day 4. And the reason I'm doing that is I want to pull this up for you. Why can't it? It's not pulling up the presser. See? They took the presser down, it looks like. Okay. For some reason, they've taken down the 30-minute presser. So very odd. There was a presser last night, but for some reason, they took it down. It's 30 minutes. Okay. So they found little Claire, day 4, walking 100 miles from home near a highway, thanks to the public who changed the direction in the area of their search. They were searching around the store where their little Chihuahua was found deceased in that area, and where mom had run in a panic saying little Claire was missing. They find Claire 110 miles away, walking near a highway. She tells the police that she's there because mom told her to wait there. She's holding a little lunch pail. Oh, breaks my heart. And bare feet. So there's no water for 4 days. Now listen to this, because I was just thinking in Arizona, you wouldn't survive that, right? So it was about mid-80s was their high in Quebec, is what I saw for today. Okay, so it says a human can typically survive without water for 3 to 5 days. And the time frame varies depending on factors, and one factor is age. Infants, children, and older adults are more vulnerable to dehydration. So little Claire was very, very close to not being able to survive this. Hi, Frank. Very close. She was 4 days without water. Very, very close to not being able to survive this. And the public led law enforcement to the right area, a different area than they were searching, and they found little Clair Bell, 3 years old. Just a beautiful story. Let me see if I can get, and then we have Malehya is on the run. So that's coming up. So that is little Clair Bell in the hospital, family members waiting to be reunited with her. Her mother is arrested, charged with child abandonment, and tomorrow is her hearing, June 20th. So we will learn more about the status of her mother, who is 34, who put out that horrid TikTok video. So very angry TikTok video. Let's go ahead and move on to Lily and Jack Sullivan. Okay. Here's their little Chihuahua that was found deceased. And here's mom in that TikTok video. Look at the face. She's holding Claire. But it's very angry video. Now we are here to talk about Miss Malehya Brooks Murray, the mother of Lily and Jack Sullivan. Jack 4, Lily 6, reported missing May 2nd, around 10 a.m. Mom had, on May 3rd, went to move on the property with her mother, off the property where she was living with her partner, the father of her 16-month-old Meadow. And now we are hearing from a relative that Malehya has left her mother's. Malehya is on the run, and he believes she coordinated this entire affair, in his opinion. We're going to hear his interview, his conversation. He also believes the children are alive. He believes that he does know who picked them up at the end of the driveway. He believes he knows 90% sure and where they are, and he thinks they are alive. I hope he's right, because there's a conflicting interview with a grandmother we're also going to listen to. And the grandmother says she thinks that they're no longer with us. So welcome in, hit the thumbs up. This is Crime Time Buzz. We are now moving to Jack and Lily Sullivan, still remaining in Canada, but we have now gone from Montreal, Quebec area to Lansdowne Station in Nova Scotia, Canada. Sorry, you all, I was talking. This, can you put the initials, Mima, down of what creator? Just put initials if you would. Wait, real quick. Does anybody remember the Terry Schiavo case? She went without food and water for 13 days. Oh my goodness. No, I don't, but I'm going to look it up now. Oh, got it. Thank you, Mima. Thank you. Good to know. Appreciate you. Okay. So we are going to read this real quick. Nova Scotia is now offering $150,000 for information about the disappearance of Jack and Lily Sullivan. Siblings who disappeared weeks ago have not been found despite extensive search and police investigation. They have been missing for 6 weeks. Lily, 6, and her brother Jack, 4. There they are right there. These are photos released by Nova Scotia government on Thursday, June 19th. Look at this is so cute of Lily and Jack, both of them. That bothers me, right? Okay. Nova Scotia government's offering up to $150,000 for information about the disappearance of siblings Lily and Jack Sullivan, who were reported missing from their rural Pictou County home nearly 7 weeks ago. Well, let me say, if they are offering a reward for money information into the disappearance, leads me to believe that they believe it's foul play, that the kids did not just wander away and get lost in the woods. Okay, criminal is what rewards are for. Let's keep going. Lily and Jack. The province announced the reward on Thursday under a program that is typically used to bring to light information that can lead to arrests and convictions in specific unsolved major crimes. So this is now an unsolved major crime. They're looking to lead to an arrest or a conviction. That's what this reward is for. The reward on Thursday is under a program that is used to bring light to information leading to arrest and conviction in major crimes. So we now know that they don't believe the kids just wandered off. There is our confirmation. We now know they are not looking for kids who wandered into the woods on their own. They are looking for someone to arrest and convict because this is a major crime. Lily and Jack were reported missing on May 2nd from their Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia home, but the children have not been found despite extensive searches in the surrounding heavily wooded area and a large Mountie investigation. Justice Minister Becky Druhan said the Mounties asked for the case to be added to the rewards program. She said the disappearance has been difficult for many people and has garnered interest from around the world. The program does consider and has the opportunity to include cases that relate to missing persons, so it very much fits within those parameters. If we can do anything at all to support the investigation, we will do it. And in this case, this is a lever we can pull. So we're hopeful that the inclusion of the Sullivan case in the rewards program may lead to some information that will help in solving the case, because money does talk in some cases, right? We've got another case where money isn't talking at almost $500,000. There are currently 122 unsolved cases in the province where the province is offering cash rewards for information. Most are homicides, but 20 roughly are missing persons. Okay. Now, we are going to get back here because I want to share with you. Oh, I hope it's still there. Okay. I want to share with you this interview. This is the one we've been talking about. This was on Joseph Morris's channel, and I believe he credited Crime and Shame. Okay. And so we are going to listen to the interview of the relative of Jack and Lily, who believe he knows who took them, drove them away. He says mom's on the run, knows who drove them away, and believes that they're alive if they are where he thinks they are. So, hi, Social Butterfly. No problem. So good to see you. Hi, Butterfly Kisses. Her mom has the baby now. Hi, Mama First. So this is credit to Joseph Morris, and we are listening to the relative speak of his beliefs about what happened to little Lily and Jack and where they are. Credit to Joseph Morris, and he credited Crime and Shame.
Those kids are alive, and that's a big if because it's been a long time, but I still believe there's a very good chance there. Mm-hmm. If those kids are still alive, and if they're where I think they are, if you to the god idiots that are still holding on to those kids, I want to say this: if you panic, we're zeroing in on you, and you know it. The last couple of days, they know we're zeroing in on them. And if you panic and hurt those kids, thinking that you're going to hurt them and get rid of them and not get nailed, you're wrong. Because we're already very close to having you. Bring those kids to the light of day.
After Jack and Lily Sullivan.
So he says they're closing in on them. And his information is don't do something to them and think you're going to get away with it, because he does think there's a great chance they are still with us. Hi, Kaz. Hi, Alicia. Raymond, it very much could be dealing with rugs. Yes, Lily looks a lot like her mother. Yes, that's the relative speaking, and we're going to keep going. This is their relative. His name is...
Sullivan's relative, Darewood O'Grady, came forward with claims that their mother, Malehya Brooks Murray, orchestrated their removal from the home. Stepfather Daniel Martel has revealed that Malehya has fled her mother's house and is now on the run, with Jack and Lily presumed to be alive. Darewood, from Malehya's side of the family, but connected to Daniel through work, spoke to Sonny Austin and Charmaine Swart on It's a Crime and Shame YouTube channel, first appearing on Dolly Vision's platform, spinning a tale that's got tongues wagging. He's adamant Malehya handed the kids off to someone on the property's edge, a theory backed by Daniel's Facebook chat with A Crime and Shame, where he noted the kids' scent, tracked by dogs, vanished at the end of the driveway. Darewood's pushing this angle, hoping to jumpstart the stalled case, though he's skeptical of the Mounties' ability to follow through, despite reporting it to them. The day after the kids went missing, Malehya, her baby Meadow, and her mother, Cindy Murray, hightailed it to Wentworth. Malehya's mother, Cindy, then told reporters that the RCMP barred them from media chats. But a CBC reporter said that just wasn't true. They were only warned to mind what they shared to the media. The relative, Darewood, figures that Malehya caught wind he was onto her, and that caused her to fled to the Sipekne'katik Reserve, taking Meadow with her and fleeing her mother, Cindy Murray's house in Wentworth. So he figures that maybe she went there to snag a lawyer for cover as this case is heating up.
And then I believe the person that eavesdropped on me, I intentionally let them eavesdrop on me. Mm-hmm. And then I believe they directly called Malehya, and within a half an hour, Malehya had panicked and grabbed the baby, grabbed Meadow, and took off from Cindy's place, which is her mother's place in Wentworth. Right. And that's where she's been staying under 24-hour supervision by CPS.
Stop. Malehya was under 24-hour CPS supervision. Just take note of that. Malehya was under 24-hour CPS supervision. The reason she went to the reservation, I'm hearing, is her lawyer is there. So let's keep listening. This is the relative he believed he had purposely allowed someone to overhear him. Oh, thank you so much, Maria S. You are so sweet for your donation and your cute super sticker. Love the beach. Thank you. And Raymond, thank you so much for gifting a Crime Time membership. Welcome to the family reunions if you receive it. And please thank Raymond. Thank you, Raymond. You're always so generous. Appreciate you all. Her uncle is a lawyer, apparently. Okay. Well, her lawyer apparently is on the reservation. Let's keep hearing. And then we have a grandmother who's giving a complete opposite talk, but she's very grounded in what she's saying, but she doesn't believe the kids are with us anymore. So here's two relatives saying something different, but let's complete. He purposely started talking so someone would hear him. And that someone, he said, within a half an hour, that someone told Malehya, and Malehya took off. Let's keep listening. We are talking about Jack and Lily Sullivan and their mother, Malehya Brooks Murray. This is out of Nova Scotia, Canada.
But anyway, she had took off from Cindy's place, which is called Malehya, and
Heating up.
And then I believe the person that eavesdropped on me, I intentionally let them eavesdrop on me, and then I believe they directly called Malehya, and within a half an hour, Malehya had panicked and grabbed the baby, grabbed Meadow, and took off from Cindy's place, which is her mother's place in Wentworth.
Right.
And that's where she's been staying under 24-hour supervision by CPS. But anyway, she fought with her mother. Her mother tried to keep her there physically and couldn't keep her there. And Malehya headed what I was told by the other family members who called me back right away, and that she had grabbed the baby and ran and headed for the reserve in Schenectady. Why she would head for the reserve, I don't know. And I don't know for sure if that's where the chief of the Micmac Reserve, it's his brother that's her lawyer.
Oh, yeah.
And the only thing I can think of in that, and not so, what I don't know, I'll say I don't know. What I know, I know. Now, I don't know exactly why she ran for the reserve, but the only connection I can think of is that her lawyer's there. Maybe she thinks she can get some kind of, I don't know, legal protection or whatever, because I think she realizes that the jig is up. And I think she realized that I knew more than I made an educated guess, and I think I was right, and it made her panic.
Daniel's been vocal about Malehya's mental state, saying the chatter is messing with her head, especially with Meadow in the mix. Belinda Gray, paternal grandma to Jack and Lily's biological dad, hasn't seen Malehya since Meadow's birth 6 months ago, fueling talk of postpartum struggles. Darewood on It's a Crime and Shame suggested Malehya might be at risk of self-deleting. So before the kids vanished, Malehya and Daniel were butting heads, and she was spilling her beefs about him to the family, which Darewood thinks pushed her to get Jack and Lily out.
What I think happened, what I'm pretty sure happened, is Malehya, they had a few arguments, they had a bad stretch for a while.
Right.
And Malehya was complaining to some members of the family. And she lost her temper or lost her control a little bit, and she was like seriously complaining, saying she wanted out of there and stuff like this, right? And then there was some stuff she said that really wasn't true, but I think she was exaggerating her position. Now, some members of the family took that seriously, and they decided on their own. To look into it, right? And then she made a bad mistake. There was some people involved with her. They made a bad mistake thinking they were doing something good. And before they realized what happened, things blew up so quick. The Mounties moved in so quick with the dogs.
Right.
The searchers and everything started so quick that by the time they realized, oh, Jesus, what did we do? It was gone too far. They couldn't back out of it. I'm very sure at this point that Malehya dressed the kids and took them to the roadside and put them in a vehicle. I'm about 80% sure I know who was driving the vehicle. I know who's in the vehicle.
Okay.
And I know who transported the kids. I'm very, very, very close to being 100% on that one. And when I finish finding out for sure, for absolute sure, then I'm gonna be able to find where those kids got delivered. But every indication through everywhere is yes, Malehya knows where they're at. And her bailing today was another large indication to me, because I think she was informed very quickly that I stated a name. I inquired about a name, and I was eavesdropped on, and I dropped the name because I wanted to be eavesdropped on.
Right.
Because the person that was eavesdropping, I was very suspicious of being involved. And before I got back home, I got the phone call that Malehya had grabbed the baby, panicked, and took off.
Logan, a cousin, told a TikToker the stepbrother's brother wasn't living in a trailer on the property. Just Jenny, the stepdad's mom, who saw Malehya looking caught right after the kids were likely whisked away.
Well, here's my understanding on Jane.
So the grandmother saw Malehya allegedly looking caught shortly after moments after the kids were whisked away. So he believes that he dropped the proper name to the person. Hi, Jen in Georgia. He dropped, oops, sorry, y'all. He dropped the proper name. He dropped the proper name in the eavesdropping, which got back to Malehya, scared Malehya, and Malehya packed up and took off and went to the reservation. Now they're trying, yes, I am to bear. I was just going to say that. If this account is accurate, they will try and find those children before anything else happens, right? Like he said, don't you dare think you're going to do something to the kids and get away with it, right? Oh my goodness. Let's all say a prayer right now that this account is correct and these kids are safe. But what would be the motive there? Okay, so here's my question, and I'm going to get to the rest of, because I have the other grandmother's interview for us too. But I wanted to ask you all something. If she got up and she dressed the kids and walked them to the end of the road, wouldn't Daniel be aware that Malehya got up and out of bed? He said he heard the kids playing and stuff, so he would have heard her dressing them, getting them out the door. Right? I mean, that's what I'm thinking. So, can the feds go on reservations? Well, let's keep listening, and I'll get to that for you guys. We went through that conversation regarding Summer's aunt, Rose Bly, because it was thought maybe she was on a reservation. KB, abuse in the home, in my opinion. I believe Daniel was passed out, in my opinion. Oh, okay. Raymond, CPS, yeah. So she's on 24-hour supervision from CPS with Malehya. So she says, Holly answers, Hope floats, excuse me. I'm sorry, Hope. Not if it was in the vehicle, walked to the door to get the kids. Gotcha. Shirley says, Daniel said in one interview, Malehya called the police and got back in bed. Why would you call the police and get back in bed? You'd start running and searching. Yeah, Kaz, they were, because Daniel was, and they had little Meadow in bed with them, they said. So how could she get out of bed in that little house? Yes, they have their own, and they have to give some sort of a permission to go on. I'm going to review that while we're looking, because we got into that with Rose, but I have to refresh my memory. I'll look at that while we're listening to this. This is credit to Joseph Morris, who credited It's a Criming Shame. Forgive me, I got the channel name wrong. It's a Criming Shame, not Criming Shame.
those kids are alive, and that's a big if because it's been a long time, but I still believe there's a very good chance they are. If those kids are still alive, and if they're where I think they are, if you to the god idiots that are still holding on to those kids, I want to say this: if you panic, we're zeroing in on you, and you know it. The last couple of days, they know we're zeroing in on them. And if you panic and hurt those kids, thinking that you're going to hurt them and get rid of them and not get nailed, you're wrong. Because we're already very close to having you. Bring those kids to the light of day.
After Jack and Lily
That is one Hi, Robin. Hi, Alicia. That is one relative's perspective. Now we have another relative's perspective. Oh, wait, we're going to end with Deception Detective doing a little clip on Daniel's latest. So yes, prayers. I hope that the relative we just heard is the one who is correct, because this grandma right here, she seems lovely, but she doesn't believe the kids are still with us. So let's listen up. This is credit to Daphne's Case Files. Please hit that thumbs up if you would. Thank you so very much. Hi, Mama.
My son is Cody Sullivan. He's not in jail. He's never been out west. He does not have a criminal record. And right now he's living with me. He has been for 9 months.
How did you find out that Lily and Jack were missing?
The mom of my grandson called me. We were in town. She asked if I heard the news. She sent me the article that was on Facebook showing the kids missing. I couldn't call Malehya yet, so I waited till we got home. And I called, well, I didn't call her, I texted her. And she told me that, yes, that the kids were missing, that they've been missing since this morning. I was in a state of panic, shock. But in the back of my mind, I kept saying, well, they'll find them. I mean, I'm assuming that they'd find them. So I told her, well, we'll head out first thing in the morning and help with the search. It was around between 3 and 3:30 in the morning. A couple of cop cars pull into the driveway. The lights wake me up that I'm a fairly light sleeper, so I see the cars pull in, so I knew what it was. So they come inside. They only stood in the kitchen. They wanted me to wake Cody up, and they wanted to know when was the last time he had seen the kids, and that they were just making sure that the kids weren't here. And then they left. So we showed up Saturday morning, me and my sister, and we met up with my daughter, and we started, well, I asked Malehya, I said, Malehya, I said, you know your kids. Nobody knows their kids like their mom. Where do your kids normally go to play out in the yard? What direction do they usually like to explore? And she said, well, they always play up in the little woods right on the side. I said, well, okay. I said, we'll start from that point and we'll.
And you know what? That's not what Malehya told the public. Malehya said they play in the backyard with them supervised. She didn't say they go off and play in the little woods, remember? So that's interesting. This grandmother seems very, very gracious. Hi, Gypsy. Good to see you. And she is Cody's mom, and says he doesn't have legal issues. So very interesting contradictions here. But let's go ahead and see what else she has to say. She's telling us her story, very different from Dremmond's, who believes, the kids are still with us.
Or work our way out. We had spoken to a search and rescue, and we weren't allowed on the other side because that's where they were searching at the time. So we just started combing through the woods up through there. We were gone for a couple of hours. I'm yelling for Lily and Jack. We always called Jack Jackie Boy. And yeah, that went on for a few hours, but those woods, I started to feel that I can't see them being in the woods. There's trees everywhere. You literally have to climb over trees, climb under bushes. It is really, really thick. We come back out and I went in to see Malehya again. I assumed she was in shock. She was very, very non-emotional, very just flat, monotone. But Malehya's very soft-spoken anyway. That she's not usually excitable. I thought that's made her a really great mom. She was an excellent mom. She never raised her kid or voice at the kids. That it was always, now Lily, what did mommy say? And I used to think, now if anybody's meant to be a mom, it was her. A part of me still feels that.
Why only a part of you still feels that? What do you mean?
After seeing the place, seeing the condition of the home, it was like the total opposite of what I knew of Malehya. She was always clean, very clean about herself, about the kids, about her home. This home looked more like a camp. Now, I don't know if it's from all the people that were there because I didn't show up till the day after, but it was very unkempt. I was pretty surprised.
I love you.
Lily is,
She was my little dream girl, that's the first granddaughter. And I loved that she had the brown hair and she had a space between her teeth, which I had when I was a kid. So yeah, she was our little princess. Jack was such a sober, serious little baby.
Someone said she seemed very genuine. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. I wanted to share with you real quick about the reservation land, and we'll get back to that interview. It says that missing children investigations in indigenous communities, Canadian law enforcement, and Shirley, thank you for looking yours up as well. I appreciate you when you do that for me. Thank you so much. Canadian law enforcement, including the Mounties, the RCMP, collaborate with Indigenous communities and organizations to resolve missing children investigations. The Missing Children Society of Canada and the Mounties are working together to improve collaboration and support for police in resolving missing children's investigations, including those in Indigenous communities. The FBI typically does not have jurisdiction in Canada, including on Indigenous reserves. Canadian police can go on to Indigenous land to investigate a missing child case, but their approach depends on the specific reserve and the agreements in place between the police service and the Indigenous community. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. So they can get on the land. It takes a little bit. Oh, someone's saying Daniel had been off rugs for 2 years. Okay. Someone's saying they don't think CPS was watching Malehya 24/7, and KB agrees with that. Okay. Gypsy says, my heart aches for the extended family members that truthfully have no idea what has happened to the missing. Yeah, but I just can't believe that she could get out of bed, dress 2 children, get them out the door, walk them to the driveway, and he not know she was gone. And then her say to him, do you hear the kids? Remember her story? Do you hear the kids? So that just doesn't fit with me. Let's go ahead and continue. This grandma's wonderful information. This is the paternal grandmother. This is the paternal grandmother. Cody's mom.
Didn't like to smile. You could tickle him, and he would look at you ever so serious, like he was really studying you.
And so how long were your son and Malehya together?
3.5 years, I think it was, yeah. I thought they were the picture-perfect family. Then Malehya started to tell me that they were having problems and she wasn't happy. She told me that she wasn't happy and she thinks she's going to leave. And I told her that we supported whatever she decides, that one good parent is way better than two broken ones.
And then how did that change your relationship with Lily and Jack?
I thought it was going to change, but it didn't. Yeah, it didn't change. Malehya, she was a sweetheart. Anytime we wanted to see the kids, she'd come by for a visit. She'd bring them by all the time. It was actually really, really good.
So when was the last time you saw the children?
A year and a half, almost, really. It's about a year and 9 months.
How did you deal with that?
Really, to be honest, maybe I didn't deal good enough with it. I looked at the fact that when her and my son separated, my son walked away. He chose to walk away, that she wanted sole custody of the kids. So she petitioned the courts for sole custody, and when she did that, he said he was done.
Were you ever formally questioned?
Yes.
So then it's about a month after Lily and Jack are last seen that they come and formally question you.
So it's about 3 weeks. They questioned Cody for an hour and a half in the vehicle, and then they questioned me for 2 hours in the vehicle.
How did that feel to you?
I didn't mind. I mean, to me, I expected I'm the grandmother, so it wasn't a surprise to me. I'm assuming the sooner they do all that, I wish they would have done it sooner, that the sooner they can move on.
I just want to touch base with you all. I'm really taken back a little bit with this paternal grandmother. I think, from things we've heard, I had a little preconceived notion. She seems very genuine, well-spoken. She's not, she seems like she really loves the kids. Always good to have you, NJs. Yes, it's Lily and Jack's paternal grandmother, so Cody's mom. Let's continue. She's very pleasant. Great interview.
So I didn't have a problem. My son was a little upset about it. He said they made him feel like he did something wrong, and he said he hadn't seen the kids in 3 years. So he was a little upset about it. That he said that they really come at him hard. They wanted to know what her favorite color was, and he said they were babies when I seen them last. He said she was just learning what she wanted to figure out to eat. I don't know what her color is. So yeah, he was pretty upset.
Have they ever talked to him again since then?
A couple of days ago, they had contact, and they told him that they weren't looking his way anymore, that everything's fine.
And have they ever given you any information?
No, it's always the same thing.
Which is what?
They've got everybody on it. They are looking at all avenues. They can't divulge any information that could compromise their investigation. It's the exact same words.
Why are you so sure they're not in the woods?
I have children. I have grandchildren. And I see what kids are like through the woods. There's no reason for any child to wander deep into the woods. There's just not. I think somebody hurt these kids. I think somebody hurt them.
You don't sound very hopeful.
No. Our last day searching on Monday and seeing the woods and seeing the searchers and everybody everywhere. There's no way those kids are in the woods. There is nothing more pure and innocent than a 6 and a 4-year-old. And they deserve so much better than what they got.
Heartbreaking. That poor grandmother. That poor grandmother. And Ginger Girl just said there's a news article out from Globe and the Mail that says CPS had visited the home of Jack and Lily months before the disappearance. A file was opened based on complaints by the school. And I also have something that someone had sent me. Let's see here. Okay. Yes, I got the, that's interesting. Okay. Okay. Now we are going to go back here. I'm sorry, you all. This is Daniel in a, so we have a grandma, real quick, let me recap. We have a grandmother who thinks it does hurt, right, Robin? It's very sad. We have the grandmother who thinks someone hurt the kids. We have the cousin who thinks quite possibly they're still with us. And he is worried that they're going to do something stupid because they didn't expect it to get this big. We've heard that before in a case, right? They didn't expect it to get this big and afraid now that they know they're close to him or on to him that they're going to do something. He says Malehya is on the run. She left her mother's home. She grabbed Meadow. He says Meadow and that she was under 24-hour supervision by CPS, but yet she managed, like someone said, to get away. So she fled. She's apparently on the reservation where her lawyer is. Someone is saying the lawyer is her uncle. I have not verified that, but that's in my chat. I don't know, Shirley H. We're just hearing this. This is just coming out, in the last hours. Roxanne says, I was an explorer. My mother had stories of me being brought back from the mill grounds train tracks. She thought it was funny. Yeah, different times, right? Different times. Let's see. Okay. He said, Daniel lied and said, in her opinion, Daniel lied and said the visit was for developmental delays. Okay. You don't think they are unalived, Robin? That's what that cousin thinks too. Yes, CP and KP. Don't let it get too big. This poor, the grandma's heartbreaking. Okay, let me go see if I can find, I agree, Psychic Amelia. Apparently, CPS was according to this cousin, supervising Malehya and Meadow 24 hours, 24/7. They denied Daniel rights to visit Malehya or Meadow. Yeah, she's lawyer is brother of the chief of tribe, allegedly. Okay, thank you. Yeah, this is just heartbreaking. Let's watch. I'm going to look up the article real quick from the Globe. And what is it? CPS visiting? Okay. Let me just look that up. Thank you, Ginger's mom. If you want to email it to me, Ginger, I will open it. Right now, what I'm going to do is start this. This is the Deception Detective. Did I put his name on there? Let me put his name on here real quick. Full credit. He is doing an analysis of Daniel. Now, Daniel, you're right. His appearance has changed. In the last 6 weeks, he looks more put together, more clean cut, you're right, healthier. Yes, I agree. Let's go ahead and start. This is, I did give him credit. Credit to Deception Detective.
Malehya and baby were asleep. Lily came in multiple times. I was not in deep sleep by any means. And then about 20 minutes passed. And then when I woke up, Malehya was right beside me. She was still asleep. And I said, I don't hear Lily and Jack. I ran up in the woods to the kids. They have cabins up in the woods, which only took me like 30 seconds. I came right back down. She was on the phone with the RCMP.
That's Daniel Martel, and I think he's lying about his missing stepchildren. And it's not just because that story literally did not make sense. So in today's video, let's watch his CBC interview and count the red flags. I'm Deception Detective, an attorney trained in statement analysis. This channel exposes lies and manipulation. So if that's your thing, hit subscribe. For exclusives and other cool perks, join the channel. Link in description. If you have two versions of the same story, debunking one of them is pretty easy. All you have to do is look for contradictions. If there are any, they can't both be true. So before we grab our deception decks and break down Daniel's version of that morning in this CBC interview, here's Malehya's version from a month ago.
They happen to just get out that sliding door and we can't hear it when it opens. and they were outside playing, but we weren't aware of it at the time. And the next thing we knew, it was quiet, and we get up and I tell him, my partner, Daniel, I tell him, do you hear the kids? And he says, no. And we get up instantly. We're looking outside. We're looking everywhere, yelling for them. And I instantly just call 911. I just had the instinct I needed to call.
Malehya said she's the one who noticed the kids were gone and alerted Daniel. He said the opposite. Malehya said they both went outside looking for the kids. Daniel said he was out for 30 seconds and she called the police in the meantime. Those are interpersonal contradictions, or contradictions between two people's stories. And typically, if one is guilty and one is innocent, the innocent person will point out the contradictions and be suspicious of the one who's clearly lying. So the fact that Daniel and Malehya haven't done that suggests to me that they're co-conspirators and this entire story is scripted. And there are plenty more signs of scripting and fabrication in that story. I've already pointed out a bunch of them in my previous videos in the series, which I recommend you binge watch if you haven't seen them yet. But there's plenty more in this interview itself, so let's watch.
A home deep in rural Nova Scotia, 140 kilometers northeast of Halifax, the last known location.
20 minutes
alone.
Malehya and baby were asleep. Lily came in multiple times. I was not in deep sleep by any means. And then about 20 minutes passed, and then when I woke up, Malehya was right beside me. She was still asleep. And I said, I don't hear Lily and Jack.
The time, no one will say for sure, but police say it was around 10 a.m. when they got a 911 call.
I ran up in the woods to the kids. They have cabins up in the woods, which only took me like 30 seconds. I came right back down. She was on the phone with the RCMP.
There are a ton of problems with this story, so let's go through them one by one. First, as I already pointed out, it directly contradicts Malehya's version of events, which is typical of co-conspirators reciting a scripted story. A made-up stuff just doesn't stick as well in the brain as a real memory. Second, it's extremely vague, especially when it comes down to the timing of everything. For instance, he said that Lily came into the room multiple times, and then suddenly he's saying 20 minutes later he woke up. He woke up 20 minutes after what exactly? Third, the story just isn't reasonable, which is one of the criteria from the Assessing Stories card in my deception deck, my 52 favorite rules for spotting lies and manipulation. If his story is true, Malehya called the police before they'd even checked the backyard to see if the kids were out there. Remember, he said that they noticed the kids were being quiet. He immediately went outside for 30 seconds, and when he came back, she was already calling the police. Finally, the tone of the story itself is off, another criteria from my Assessing Stories card. And by that, I mean Daniel's main objective here is to alibi Malehya. He made a point of telling us that he wasn't totally asleep and that she was definitely sleeping next to him when he woke up and she couldn't have crept off. But if his story is true, he can't be 100% sure about that. And what about these contradictions? Is he not concerned that her story doesn't match his? He doesn't even seem to be concerned that a kidnapper might have taken the kids or the kid's biological dad who's still out there somewhere. His sole objective, it seems, is to alibi himself and Malehya and express zero curiosity about what happened or request any help to figure out what actually happened. But
one thing I did notice is he's right. Like in one indication, I heard in one article where Daniel said he heard the slider. There's one article out there where Daniel says he heard the slider. Then there are other ones where Daniel says they can't hear the slider. He agrees with Malehya. Then they're both in bed. But if Malehya got up and walked him to the end of the road, Daniel would have heard her. So then he would know and need to be helping cover. I don't know. It's strange. Hi, Adopt a Car 28. Very strange. The family member that led the searcher or RCM to the piece of blanket, it just said the family. And then they said it wasn't theirs. Or Daniel said it wasn't Lily's. It was pink. Yeah, why not get out of bed with your kids? Come on. Exactly. Jack would have needed his nappy changed, but nappy wasn't getting changed. Yep, why didn't you get out of bed? Exactly. Because the story just is that. It's a story. Remember, we talked about big stories. If you're sleeping and your kids disappear, like KP, you don't have this huge story. When someone says what happened, we got home from dinner, hung out for a while, he went to bed, woke up in the morning, wasn't there. We don't back up 24 hours. Okay. Just like with Jack and Lily. Daniel and Malehya, we woke up, the kids were not there. We ran outside, didn't see them, called the police. All these details. We heard them playing. We don't hear a slider open. They both had on their rubber boots. Why haven't we found anything in her backpack she was wearing? How do you know she's wearing the backpack? How do you know there's what's in it? And then he goes on to say, and by the way, it'll be brown by now because of the mud in the woods. That was a concerning red flag to me. Also, he kept indicating that Jack's pull-up hadn't been found yet. And I was waiting for the searchers to find that pull-up. Me too, Woman's Warrior. Me too. I was waiting for the searchers to find that pull-up. And, you know, by the way, deception detective, as he's talking about his deck, I am the recipient of a deception detective deck from Jen. And thank you very much, Jen, in Georgia. We'll use it on our channel a little bit. So let's continue with deception. He's pointing it out too. All the discrepancies. We shouldn't have discrepancies. The truth doesn't change.
It gets worse. Let's keep listening.
I ran up in the woods to the kids. They have cabins up in the woods, which only took me like 30 seconds. I came right back down. She was on the phone with the RCMP.
For 6 days, crews tackled an exhaustive search. The children's mother took the baby to be with her family in another part of the province. Her mother told CBC News the RCMP told them not to speak with news reporters. The RCMP says it just advised everyone to be mindful of the information they share publicly. On May 7th, police scaled back the search.
The probability of survival was taken into consideration.
But search crews returned for 2 more weekends until the end of May, searching wells, mine shafts, and septic systems, even flying a drone beneath the home.
The 4-year-old is wearing some blue dinosaur boots.
Police say they found a boot print. And listen to this in the radio chatter.
Families brought us to a location there, not far away, that there's a piece of...
We've analyzed plenty of innocent parents on the channel, and they talk to anyone who's willing to listen, even if it means that the public will dogpile them, or in the case of the parents of Dylan Ealer, who we've also analyzed on the channel, actually become the targets of fake ransom requests, which is just absolutely disgusting. So why do I say all this? Because Malehya and her mother are pulling the same trick that we've seen every other hoaxer pull on the channel, trying to tell the public that the police told them not to talk when their kid is out there missing. And even if the police did tell them not to talk to the press and ask for help finding their kid, which the police made clear that they didn't, imagine if they had.
And I'm just going to address this right now. Yes, Jen. I always think of that when I see him. I think of you. Okay, and I was just going to address something he said. Oh, darn it. I lost my train of thought. Sorry, y'all. Let's go back and I'll get to it. Oh, I know what it was when he's talking about the hoax, right? Saying police told me not to speak, told us not to speak. Now that takes me back to Sebastian Rogers' case, where Sebastian's family told law enforcement they were not going to make any statements. Law enforcement told the media that and said, you do with what you want. I'm relaying the information, basically. But then, and they didn't speak for about 8 days. But then about a month down the road, there's a statement from CP saying, well, they don't want us to search because they want us to be available for phone calls. And I'm thinking, you don't have a cell in your pocket right now? I knew that's such malarkey. Okay. Like they sat home for an entire month, never going anywhere because they were waiting for a phone call just in case. No, we saw them out often, but not allegedly searching. But what I'm saying is, would that stop you? No, I'd say I've got my cell phone in my pocket. You can get a hold of me. Let's keep going.
Talk when their kid is out there missing. And even if the police did tell them not to talk to the press and ask for help finding their kid, which the police made clear that they didn't, imagine if they had. Do you think the father of Seth Rogers would have listened to that advice? Or the mother of Kyron Horman? Or the biological mother of Gannon Stouch? All of whom we've analyzed on the channel? Of course not. In other words, parents of missing children have to face a very unique dilemma which forces them to talk. If they go silent, like Malehya Brooks Murray or the mother of Sebastian Rogers, it basically confirms their guilt in the court of public opinion. But it does help them in the court of law because the court of law has to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that they're guilty. But what about the parents who really care what the court of public opinion thinks and are cocky enough to think that they can fool everyone in the public and even the police? Well, they keep talking. We're only halfway through this CBC mini documentary. If you want to continue analyzing it, let me know by liking, commenting, and sharing. Until next time, stay true.
Sorry, I was on mute again. I'm giggling at Raymond over here going, oh no, not another one. So when Jen, you said that about Dee Dee, and I commented, and Raymond, you have no fear. And ladies, you either. We have a new, so be looking tomorrow, an 18-minute video of Sheriff Morris from the Manhunt, a one-on-one video with him. So we will be watching that tomorrow. So hit that notification bell. Poor Raymond and Frank and Steven and all the guys have to put up with it, but we enjoy looking at him. So which do you believe? Do you believe paternal grandmother and that the kids are, someone hurt the kids, or are you leaning towards the cousin because grandma's going by a feeling because of the time? Or do you believe the cousin who is going more from, he's going more from things he thinks he knows? So, but I do want to show those who just came in. I want to show you little Claire real quick. I do want you to see from little Claire, because this was little Claire when she was found. But I think it's really important to note, hi Sam, that she went 4 days without water. 3 to 5 is what a person can survive with usually. And the little angel had a lunchbox with her, but no water. And they say children, younger children, they can't survive as long. So they got her for day 4. So her survival was almost up. But look at the little angel. Look at this. Her swollen lips, probably from being dry, no water, and sun chapped. Look at how swollen that upper lip is. Bless her heart. And her face weathered. Bless her little heart. She is probably, she is probably was so scared. I mean, I can't even imagine what she did for 4 days. And Mama told her to stay there. She told police to wait. Oh, just so hard to see. Did you see the unblurred photo at Buzz? No, I did not, Lisa B. If you'll send it to me. Oh, goodness. A huge black, a huge BI. Oh, my goodness. No, where can I find that? Because I'll share it right now. She is gorgeous. Where can I see that photo, ladies? A happy ending is rare. And, you know, she's going to have trauma and confusion, and Mom's going to be in a hearing tomorrow with the charge of abandonment. But that's a lot. I mean, I as an adult, let's walk in her shoes for a second. If someone dropped us off at the side of the highway by ourselves in bare feet and just a lunchbox in the summer by the highway and told us to wait, and day after day, night, the sun goes down, the sun comes up. The sun goes down, the sun comes up. The sun goes down, the sun comes up. And no one comes for you. Imagine that fear even as an adult. Bless her little heart. That is when we put ourselves in the shoes of these kids. And thank you, NJs and Raymond, for your membership gifting. Thank you so much, Maria S., for your super sticker. But if we can manage to put ourselves in the shoes of these children sometimes, like I put myself in the shoes of Sebastian, starting to outcry, starting to tell people what was going on in the home, afraid. I have that one that I want to share with you that tells the story of him being afraid in the grocery store. So, and they're starting to share, and that's when it becomes very dangerous for them. Very dangerous. But they're trying to tell. I'm sure, I hope, Cass, she gets counseling. They are scarring their children. That's right, Texas Life, Julie. And little Claire had a lot of family worried and waiting for her. So thank you, Christina. Little Claire had a lot of family waiting for her, and it's a happy ending. We had Elisa Petrov a couple weeks ago, happy ending. 3 adult men grooming this 14-year-old child. And she she was from Utah, ended up in Colorado, and walked into a Colorado Springs Police Department and identified herself. The other men are in custody. But she's safe, and so is Clair Bell. And hopefully, according to this cousin Drummond, I sure will, Christina, we will have a chance, hopefully, there is possible chance that Jack and Lily, he knows where they are. He knows who drove them away, in his opinion, and he believes they may still be with us. He's worried about the time frame, but he believes that they weren't taken to hurt. Okay? He's just worried that, what did he call them? The idiots are going to get scared because this has gotten so big and do something stupid. So Malehya's on the run. He dropped some information. He knew someone was eavesdropping, knew they'd tell Malehya. They indeed did, and within a half hour, Malehya was gone. So, oh, thank you. We just watched it, Teresa. We just watched it. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is just a borderline mother. Yeah. You had a scary moment once. Hold on, I'm going to read Shirley's. Crime Time, I had a scary moment once when my oldest son was about 3 years old. We was at Walmart, and a guy took my son out of the cart. Oh my gosh. And I made them lock the store down until my son was found. Shirley, he took him right out of your cart. Oh my gosh. That would be terrifying. Absolutely. Now, when they found your son, was he still with the guy who took him out of the cart, Shirley? Terrifying. Oh my gosh. Terrifying. And the thing of it is we see arrests for kids who are missing. I think if a parent's supervising a child and they go missing, the parent goes behind the bars till we find the kid. That's just how we're going to solve these things. That's how we're going to get less. They slipped out while I was sleeping. In my opinion, we'll get less of that malarkey. They slipped out while I was asleep and the door was open. And all these little excuses, running for panic in stores when you've left your child 100 miles away. We'll get less of that if people know once their child's missing, whoever was supervising them goes behind bars till the child is found. Right? That's what we need to do. And that needs to be, yes, crimetimebuzz@gmail.com. Thank you, Lisa, and I'll pull it right up. crimetimebuzz@gmail.com. But if we do that, and that's a federal law, not a state law where each state can put their own spin on it, and then we have muddy waters and loopholes. No, a federal law. A kid goes missing. Who was supervising the child? Behind bars you go until the child is found. Period. Then I don't think we're going to have so many open doors and kids slipping out in the night. Because look at the cowards usually. Look at the people who usually do this to their children. They're cowards. They lie, they hide, they report them missing, they hide CPS reports. They do all sorts of things but protect their child. But guess who they will protect? Themselves, because they're cowards. So if law enforcement says you're going behind bars if you don't know where your kid is, those cowards won't do it, in my opinion. I hope they can get her with premeditated too, but I don't think they can, Ruby. I hope they can, but they seem to be talking about 5 years for abandonment. I agree. Spirit souls speak me. Jack and Lily's mom did what KP did. Silence. Yes. And let a stepfather take the narrative. Oh, you've got a lot of trafficking rings near you lately, Jen? Oh, my goodness. Yes. Yes, CC, you got to be here for Sheriff Morris. It will be tomorrow, my friends. So we will have tomorrow. So I'm sorry I didn't do Sebastian's live today, but I wanted to get this out there because we had news about Lily and great news about Claire. So tomorrow we are going to have the update on the manhunt. Look for something on Sebastian as well. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers for a live tomorrow. Okay. And don't forget, at noon Eastern time is Unplugged. And you all have shown interest in a talent show kind of representing what you do. Some of you have businesses you want to promote. You're going to call in, promote your business. We'll put your websites up. Some of you are writing books. Some of you have just gotten degrees you want to share with us. Some of you have cool hobbies. Some of you have cool crafts you want to share. You crochet, you do whatever. So you're welcome to share it. Some of you have a channel you want to share. It's a new channel. So that will be tomorrow at Unplugged. NJs, thank you so much. I appreciate you. You work hard too, my dear. Thank you so much. You're always appreciated. Always good to see you, my friend. So tomorrow, Unplugged, noon Eastern. Oh, yes, I can't hang up yet. I got to go to my email for those of you who sent me something. Okay. Okay. So we have a video of the missing mom. Thank you. Does anyone have a copy of the TikTok video? You can email me real quick. And then, Lisa, I'm going to open it. Urine stained clothing in a BI. Oh, my goodness. If anyone has a copy of the TikTok video of this mother, will you send it to me too? I'm just checking my email, getting things ready. Okay. Oh, okay. So both of you sent that. Okay. Oh, dear goodness. Okay, hold on. Okay, someone just sent this to me. Credit to Lady Freedom's Raw Narratives. Excuse me, I didn't mean to stumble over that. Credit to Lady Freedom's Raw Narratives. And if you are looking here, oh my goodness, look at her pants. Oh my gosh. You all. I mean, that's bad enough, but look at the eye. Look at her black eye. It's swollen shut. This is credit to Lady Freedom's Raw Narratives. Look at that. BLACKI. Swollen shut. And look at this. And you're right, it does look like urine. Oh my goodness. Okay. Making sure you all saw that. That is just, yes, I was just going to say, do you see the lips? Look at her lips, the blisters she had. Yes. Wow. Yeah, let me try and enlarge the lips for you all. It goes away too much. There. Is that better? Look at her little lips, you all. Oh my gosh. So they're really, after looking at this picture, there should be neglect charges, in my opinion. But that's just that, my opinion. Okay, let me go back to my email. See if anyone has the TikTok video of the mom, send it to me if you will. Here it is. Okay, Christina sent it. Okay, buckle up. Yes, her puppy's deceased too. Okay, I want y'all to buckle up right now. Okay. Oh, bipolar. Yes, you're right. You are so right, Alicia. So many people do go untreated. This is Claire's mother, and Claire is being held during this terrifying TikTok video. Oh. Oh, it's just the picture. Christina, do you have the actual video? Christina, do you by chance have the actual video? Yes, please don't attack anyone in the chat. And please do not use any creators' names because someone will inevitably say something ugly about them. Just put their initials in there. Yes. Neglect. I agree. Yes, that's right. Prayer Warrior is the one who has Decker around her. And you have family member right in that area, right, Prayer Warrior? Wow. Okay. I don't have time to go through plunders, but okay, I'll go to plunder real quick. I'll go to plunder real quick. Hold on. Okay. Okay, we can't listen to 8 hours, but I want to just try, and so that's okay, Christina. I want to try and just get that one for you all. So hold on. Maybe she's got just the one. Let me see if she's got it as a short. No. Let me just see, because that's a TikTok. I went on TikTok and I'm not good on TikTok. So. Okay. That's the one I want right there. Okay, well, I'll look for those another time. I will definitely look for that one, but the one you all sent me, we can look at. And I'm not going to play the whole thing, but we will look at this. Okay, hold on.
It's a relief to know that I'm not entirely nuts, so baby steps. You try that again, and this is gonna get ugly.
And that's what I wanted you to see. So we are now on Deception Detective again. Thank you for those who shared it. This will be where we end after this one, but that is the TikTok I wanted you to see. I'm going to play it again. Yeah, isn't that sad when people can't have kids and they would be such great mothers? I know. So I'm going to play that TikTok for you again. Look at her face. Imagine being a child and her being mad at you.
Really nuts, so baby steps. You try that again, and this is gonna get ugly.
That's Rachel Todd, and she was arrested for abandoning her daughter, Clair Bell, just hours after uploading that last TikTok. But were there any early warning signs? In today's video, let's analyze her account and find out. I'm Deception Detective, an attorney trained in statement analysis. This channel exposes lies and manipulation. So if that's your thing, hit subscribe. For exclusives and other cool perks, join the channel. Link in description. When someone tells you who they are, believe them. That's Rachel's TikTok in a nutshell. But before we grab our deception decks and break it down video by video, here's a quick update on the case.
Missing 3-year-old Quebec girl.
Kilometers west. This is the fourth day. More than 150 police resources have been searching this area west of Montreal for the little girl. Her mother, Rachel Todd, had another court appearance today where she is charged with child abandonment. She has another court appearance coming up this Friday and remains detained. But for now, a major sense of euphoria has struck this whole area as the best possible scenario has unfolded. Donna.
All right, Dan Spector in Coteau-du-Lac, Quebec. Thank you.
Thankfully, this case had a happy ending, but it was by no means guaranteed. If the Ontario Provincial Police hadn't been so good at their jobs, who knows what could have happened to little Claire. So this video is more about preventing the next Rachel Todd. And that's why we'll be analyzing this video by a friend of the channel, Plunder True Crime, which compiles all of her TikToks in chronological order. I've only seen bits and pieces of this, so we're going to be reacting to it together. All right, let's watch.
I've come to realize that some stories, we don't need an ending. They just exist. This is my love letter to the soul that's intertwined with mine. Okay. There's a big part of me that wants to send you this letter right now, but I now understand why I can't. If only you knew how much I love you and how deep and true that love is. I wish you could see things more clearly and come to me. But I also understand that your journey is your own. I see the pain that you've been navigating your life from, and I forgive you. I understand how powerful these forces can be. Without real acts of love to anchor you, it can feel impossible to overcome alone. Falling in love with you wasn't my intention, but it happened, and I don't regret a thing. I wonder sometimes what you think of me, but I don't care about your doubts or your fears. They don't diminish my love for you. And I think by now you know that much, at least. No matter how much time passes, I will always hold hope and love in my heart for you. I haven't figured out the exact why or how, but I know our love is timeless.
2 bits of context. First, she apparently made her TikTok account about a year ago, and these early TikToks are addressed to her ex-boyfriend. Second, I'm not a clinician, so I can't officially diagnose anyone, but if you followed my channel for a while, you'll know that we've analyzed plenty of people who have been officially diagnosed. We've analyzed everything from narcissists to sexual sadists to stalkers and so on. And one of the best indicators of a bipolar disorder is actually linguistic. It's a ton of self-referencing. In other words, they use the words I and me a lot. So let's listen out for that as we continue watching these TikToks. And just to put this on the record, I don't care what someone's disorder is. If they hurt a kid, they need to be punished. All right, let's watch.
Okay, big update. The universe just opened a door and literally shoved me through it, and I took it. We were supposed to have a big family shindig on Sunday, the 29th. And I woke up early with my daughter and spent the morning with her. And then I want to get stuff done with my day. So I try and wake up my husband. But that's like dealing with a teenager. I can't believe I didn't see it anyways. Around the same time, I realized where I find out that the family shindig has been canceled due to weather. Fascinating. Another Christmas mishap in that household. And by the third time I try and wake up my husband, I'm at the end of my rope. And shit blew up. And within a split second, I decided to pack my entire life and leave. Within 24 hours, I packed 4 carloads of things. The crawl space, the garage, the basement, my room, some of my daughter's stuff, linen closet, washroom, coat closet, you name it, everything. I was told that I had to give the car back, which fine. I had another car, my car, probably subconsciously my fail-safe. Funnily enough,
She doesn't seem, well, I don't want to say it, but she doesn't seem all there as far as her thinking, in my opinion. So this is the mother of, excuse me, I'm so sorry, Clair Bell. Forgive me.
now somebody put a nail in my tire. And again, within 24 hours, I got new tires. I got the garage to come and pump air in it so I could get the tires changed. I revolutionized my life within one day. The bitch is back. Happy New Year. I feel like the world's biggest idiot. Spent my entire life guarding myself from everyone and everything. And I have the balls to turn around and complain that I feel alone. Funny part is I didn't even realize it.
Rachel went from being on top of the world and packing up her entire life and moving to being down in the dumps on New Year's. And I didn't splice those two TikToks together. They were posted back to back, which could be another clue that she's manic depressive. And if that's the case, I'm not surprised that she posted the down in the dumps video on New Year's. Milestones like birthdays, holidays, anniversaries are well-known triggers for manic episodes. Indeed, I doubt it's a coincidence that she abandoned her daughter on Father's Day. Personally, I find it fascinating to look at the videos that someone posted in.
Interesting point. She abandoned her daughter on Father's Day. I hadn't even put that together. So those holidays those holidays can be real rough times for people. It is very hard to watch. Hold on one second, guys. Sorry.
In retrospect, now that we know what they're really like. And I recently learned that the mother in another Canadian missing child case we're analyzing on the channel, Malehya Brooks-Murray, used to have a YouTube account where she has some videos that we could analyze too. Let me know if you want to continue analyzing these TikToks and maybe even check out Malehya's YouTube channel in future videos. Check the end card for that playlist and the Clair Bell video I made while the search was still going on. Until next time, stay true.
So little Rachel, she's alive, she's well. What this is going to do to her, wandering alone for 4 days. I mean, put yourself in her shoes. Even as an adult, it would be terrifying thinking someone's coming back for you and they never come, and the sun sets and the sun rises and the sun sets and the sun rises and the sun sets and the sun rises and the sun sets, right? And she's this little girl and holding a lunch pail and in bare feet. No water. 3 to 5 days is the amount of time you can go without water, and they say children can go less. They dehydrate quicker. And they found her on day 4. Her survival was minimizing. The ability for her to survive was minimizing. Kung Fu Panda says exactly, not a mental illness, rather a person who is criminally minded and only thinks about themselves, what was referred to as evil 20 years ago. Such a good point, Kung Fu, in so many ways, because a lot of times nowadays evil acts are masked. Some people will say, well, I experienced a trauma, and some make up a trauma because they know that is going to, like, look at Casey Anthony. She made up a trauma about her father. Okay. Yeah, she does a lot of talking. Her terrifying, the video where she's holding the baby is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. The look on her face, everything going on. But Claire is safe. She is alive. She was found waiting on the side of the highway 110 miles away and told police, Mommy told me to wait, in her bare feet with her lunch pail. Mom went running into a store claiming she was missing a couple hours after she had been seen at the residence, and their little chihuahua was found deceased near the store. And thank goodness for the public, because that's around where they were searching for her. And tips from the public led them out that 100 miles to where they found her. So if you see something, say something, and we have a good, happy ending, and we don't get many. So little Clair Bell, she is alive. She's being cared for. She's given water, food, and family waiting to see her. And her mother will be before a judge tomorrow with charges of abandonment. And Lily and Jack Sullivan, we have one relative who thinks that they may be still with us because they believe that Malehya dressed them, walked them to the end of the driveway. And that cousin believes that he knows who was driving the vehicle that took them away, and he believes he has an idea where they are. So I hope he's told that to police, where his theory is. He said he purposely told his theory and dropped a name so someone could eavesdrop and overhear. He did it intentionally, and within 30 minutes, Malehya was gone, panicked, packed, and took off with the baby to the reservation, where apparently her lawyer is, who is related to her. So you are caught up on Claire and Lily and Jack. May all these children, these are all babies from Canada, may everyone be safe. So much is going on right now. Tomorrow, we have Unplugged in the morning. Everyone's going to share some of the things that they do, their businesses, their channels, books they're writing, hobbies they have, degrees they've just accomplished, anything you want to share. And then we are going to have a live regarding Sebastian, and also our Sheriff Morris giving us an update one-on-one, 18 minutes, ladies, don't miss it, on the manhunt for Travis Decker, who unalived his 3 daughters in Washington. Wow. Right, everyone? So join me tomorrow. When I say 9 a.m., it's actually noon Eastern time. It's 9 my time for Unplugged, and we'll gather the rest of the day throughout. So thank you so much for being here. You're all amazing. Appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you soon. Keep keeping on, and if you see something, say something. It made a difference in Clair Bell's life.